Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to cut through the noise, get straight to what really matters for you. And today, well, we're tackling a pretty hefty game update. We're diving into the June 19th, 2025 patch for Black Desert. Yeah, our mission, as always, is to go beyond just, reading the patch notes line by line. We want to pull out the key stuff, the things that will actually change how you play, how you level, how you experience the game.
Absolutely. We're looking directly at the official announcement here, and it's clear they're aiming for a pretty big enhancement to the whole adventurer journey. We're talking new challenges, yeah, but also smoother progression, even some big shifts in how trade works. It feels like a real refresh.
And hefty is the word. The patch size is around 8.32 gigabytes. That tells you something, right? There's a lot going on under the hood here. Okay, so 8 gigs. Where do we start? I think we have to kick off with the biggest headline, the new challenge content.
Definitely. That's got to be the new boss, Gumiho. She's showing up in the Black Shrine, Donghai City specifically, Land of the Morning Light. And for anyone who knows the Black Shrine bosses, Gumiho is meant to be a step up. They're saying she's stronger than, like, Sangoon or the Golden Pig King at Shiniten. Sets a new bar, really.
A new bar means new difficulties too, right? Shinity 8, 9, and 10 for her. What kind of attack power are we talking about? Because that's always the big question.
Yeah, so for Shinny and 8, you're looking at needing 345 AP or more. And then for 9 and 10, it jumps to 355 plus. Pretty demanding.
Okay, so high requirements.
Yeah.
What makes it worth the effort? What are the rewards like? How does this affect the end game grind?
Well, the guaranteed weekly loot is definitely better. For beating Gumiho on these harder modes, you're guaranteed things like Dawn's Pure Water, 1000G gold bars, memory fragments, fiery Hongic flames, sealed black magic crystals, imperfect radiant earth, or, the good stuff. And obviously you get more of it at Shinny 9 and 10 compared to 8.
Okay, guaranteed stuff is nice, but what about the chase items? The stuff that really gets people excited.
Right. The rare drops. That's where it gets interesting. We're talking Dane's gloves, both types, evasion and DR, super valuable. Also Dubareka earrings, normal ones, the TOH upgraded ones, and even PEN Dubarekas, which is, huge. Plus those rare essences, Hongic Spark, Type X Power, and the different tiers of Bongwang, Lucky Lion, Kirin, Illusion tiers. These are the items that, they define top-tier builds, right? So yeah, Gumiho is definitely worth fighting.
Makes sense. That's a strong draw.
And they did mention some small tweaks to the fight itself, like adjusting where the recovery orbs appear and making the lower difficulty Gumiho take a bit longer to stand up. Little things to maybe smooth out the learning curve.
Good to know. And while people are gearing up to fight Gumiho, there are some events happening too, right? Limited time stuff.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Good reminder. Running from June 19th into early July, you've got the viewing party in Heidel Castle, Blessings of Heidel Fountain, and the daily special rewards and daily special pass. Worth checking those out, absolutely. Maximize your gains while you're playing.
Okay, so new challenges are covered. Let's switch gears slightly. What about making the everyday grind, the leveling, a bit smoother? Anything on that front?
Yes, actually. Some really nice changes to buffs. The Burning Stamina buff from the Black Spirit. It's way better now. The big thing is the duration. Using 100 stamina now gives you the buff for 180 minutes straight. That's up from just 60 minutes before. Triple the time.
Wow, 3 hours. That's huge. Less interacting with the spirit.
Yeah.
But didn't it used to be combat or skill EXP?
Exactly. That's the other massive change. Now for that same 100 stamina, you get both, and they're boosted. Combat EXP is now plus 50%, up from plus 20%, and skill EXP is plus 30%, which was only plus 8% before. So yeah, much faster progress across the board.
So combat and skill. Anything else?
Yes. There's a new buff added to that same 100 stamina exchange. Plus 20% life EXP also for the full 180 minutes. So now you pop one buff and you're accelerating combat skill and life skill progression all at once. It just makes your active playtime way more efficient,
That sounds incredibly useful, especially if you're juggling different activities. Any other progression boosts?
Yeah, they also tweaked the for rapid growth buffs. Those are the ones for characters between level 15 and 60. They now scale much better with your combat fame. So if you have higher combat fame, your lower level characters get a bigger boost. For example, if your fame is over 1501, you now get plus 200% combat EXP and plus 50% skill EXP. That's up from plus 100% and plus 30%. It'll really speed up leveling alts or getting through that mid-game stretch.
Okay, speeding things up is always good. Now let's talk economy. The central market. You mentioned changes there. What's happening?
Right. This looks like a major quality of life pass for the market. The stated goal is pretty simple. Let more players trade goods more easily, basically reducing frustration.
Sounds good to me. How are they doing that? Give me an example.
Okay, take blackstones. Super common, right?
Wow.
Max you could sell at once was 5,000. Now it's 10,000. And buying. Max was 500 per click. Now it's 1,000. And if there's plenty of stock listed, you can actually buy 5,000 in one go now.
5,000 at once. Okay, that's a time saver. Does this apply to other things too?
Oh, yeah. It's pretty broad.
Mm.
Lots of food items, meals, ingredients have higher buy limits. Bulk buys up to 5,000 possible. Crafting materials, too. Things like ingots, copper, gold, lead bloods like clown's blood, legendary beast's blood, oils, pure crystals, melted shards, plywoods. The list goes on. Higher buy and sell limits. And other key stuff like Garmuth scales, memory fragments, even milk and eggs, trace of nature, Caphras stones, all seeing big increases. Like Caphras stones, you used to only be able to buy 100 at a time. Now it's 1,000. That's jumped tenfold.
Wow. So buying and selling bulk materials, which could be really tedious before, just got way, way easier.
Exactly. It should make the market feel more fluid, less like you're fighting the UI just to get basic supplies. A much needed change, honestly.
Agreed. Okay, so beyond the daily grind and market stuff, what else is new? Any new weekly things? Or I saw something about a siege weapon.
Yeah, both actually. First, new weekly quests for some valuable progression items. Like in Tungrad, you can kill 500 Turos for a weekly quest that gives a fiery despair flame. And on top of that, the drop rate for that flame from the regular Tungrad mobs, it's been buffed about 18%.
Yeah.
So more consistent farming there.
Okay, and you mentioned another area.
Yep, Emerald Flame, Star Forest, similar deal. New weekly quest for killing 500 Winterlands mobs gives you a fiery ice scale flame, and the drop rate for that flame from the mobs there is up by 34%, plus the Erebos boxes. They give more of the ice scale flame and Times Fruit now too. So again, just making it easier for you to get these important upgrade materials without quite as much RNG frustration.
Streamlining the gear path.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Now,
Yeah.
tell me about this tank, an ancient tank.
Right. Sounds cool. It's a new siege weapon for Conquest War. The lore is it's some secret weapon from Hexmoa and Odilita, powered by dark horses, big cannon. Looks pretty intimidating.
Okay, a tank in BDO sieges. How does it actually work? Do guilds build it?
No, it's more random. It appears in Calpheon, Media, and Valencia Conquest Wars, usually about an hour to an hour and a half in. It arrives in a special military wagon. The guild that does the most damage to that wagon gets control of the ancient tank. It takes 2 people to operate a driver and a gunner. And firing the cannon costs silver, 500k per shot. So it's powerful, but not free.
Interesting. So it's a contested objective during the siege. What's it good against? And what's it weak against?
Its main role seems to be structure damage. Very effective against castle gates, fences, barricades, like a real wall breaker. But interestingly, it's supposed to be weak against elephants and horses.
Huh.
So there's counterplay involved. You can't just park it and win.
That definitely could shake things up. A powerful, expensive, contested siege engine that's good against forts, but vulnerable to cavalry. Yeah, that poses some interesting strategic questions for guilds, doesn't it?
For sure. It'll be fascinating to see how guilds adapt, how they fight over it, and how they use it. Or counter it.
Definitely one to watch. Okay, anything else? Usual batch of QOL and fixes.
Yep, some convenient NPC moves, Dalasine the Alchemist and Larch the Old Moon Manager are now at Calpheon Northgate. Easier access. Small system change. Pirates with negative naval fame can't repair or resupply at some wharfs anymore. A little nudge against griefing, maybe. UI descriptions for season servers got cleaned up. And oh, that patch size thing. They mentioned it's because of an audio engine upgrade happening over this patch and the next one on June 26th. So bigger download for you now, but potentially better sound down the line.
Good to know. And I assume the usual bug squashing happened too?
Of course. Fixes for map icons, quest notifications, market silver calculations. The typical stuff that makes the game run smoother for you. Oh, and a tiny terminology change. They're standardizing revival potion instead of revival elixir in places, just for clarity.
Right. So wrapping it all up, what's the big picture takeaway for you from this June 19th update?
Well, it's a pretty potent mix, isn't it? You've got a serious new endgame challenge with Gumio and those top-tier rewards. But you've also got significant boosts to make progression, both combat and life skills, much faster and more efficient. And the market changes. Huge quality of life improvement for everyone.
Yeah, it feels like they're hitting multiple angles, making the top end harder but more rewarding, while making the journey there and the general day-to-day stuff like buying materials much smoother.
Exactly. It's not just new stuff, it's refining the existing experience too, making Black Desert more accessible, rewarding, dynamic, all those things. Lots for you to jump in and explore.
And it definitely leaves us with that big question to ponder. How is that ancient tank going to change Conquest Wars? What new strategies, what new guild drama is going to pop up because of that thing?
Time will tell on that one, but hopefully this deep dive gives you a good head start on understanding everything else in the